Alrighty, so looks like we're diving into Fido's vet visit today.
Sounds good to me.
Got the notes right here, and 9-year-old Doberman always keeps things interesting.
Yeah, nine. That's getting up there for a bigger dog like that.
Starting to see some, the usual suspects popping up.
Exactly.
A little bit of, tummy trouble looks like,
Mm-hmm.
but the big things are, well, the arthritis, of course, and then these lumps. That's always a little concerning.
Yeah, you always want to keep an eye on those, especially with a Doberman. They tend to, well, shall we say, they get lumpy.
Yeah, and this note here about a bump that's always bothering him,
Yeah.
that kind of makes me worry.
Oh, for sure, for sure. You definitely want. I mean, anytime there's something that's consistently causing discomfort, you need to figure out what's going on and how to make things better for the little guy or big guy, I guess in this case.
Yeah, for sure. So arthritis, I mean, that's pretty common in Dobermans, right?
Oh, absolutely. Especially at that age. They those joints, they've been through a lot over the years. They're prone to wear and tear and all that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I do see here that Fido has had a bad reaction to NSAIDs in the past, which for our listeners who might not be familiar are basically like ibuprofen for dogs. So how do you even manage that if you can't give them, the usual pain relief?
Right. Yeah, and NSAIDs, they can be great. They help with the pain, they help with the inflammation, but sometimes, like with people, they can cause stomach upset and even sometimes, liver or kidney problems down the line. So you got to be careful.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. So what else can you do?
Well, it looks like the vet's got a few different things they're looking at.
Yeah, let's see. Gabapentin monthly injection and a liquid anti-inflammatory.
Okay, yeah. Those are all good
So
options.
what's the deal with gabapentin? I always like to know like the why behind the thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. So gabapentin, it's actually technically it's an anti-seizure medication,
Oh,
but it's also really good for nerve pain. So it basically kind of calms down those overactive nerves that are sending all those pain signals from his joint.
so it's like blocking the pain signal.
Exactly, exactly. So instead of, every step feeling like a jolt of electricity through your leg, which is kind of what it might be like for poor Fido,
Mm.
it just kind of quiets those signals down so he can, move a little easier, maybe enjoy a walk, play a little bit.
Yeah, a little more pep in his step.
Exactly,
What
exactly.
about this monthly injection? That sounds pretty intense.
It is pretty cool actually. So it's a medication that basically helps slow down the progression of the arthritis
Oh wow.
by targeting something called nerve growth factors in the joint. And the interesting thing is sometimes it can actually cause a little pain at first. Yeah, because of how it binds to those nerve growth factors, it's kind of a weird thing, but for some dogs it can be really really helpful in the long run.
Huh. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's not a magic bullet or anything, but it's definitely a good option.
And then of course we've got the liquid anti-inflammatory, which it sounds like he's done well on that before.
Yeah, and that's always a good sign. If something's worked in the past, it's definitely worth trying again.
So it sounds like the vet is really being careful and really tailoring this pain management plan specifically to Fido.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you want. You don't want a one size fits all approach. Every dog's different, so it's great that they're really taking his individual needs into account.
Now about those lumps. So we talked about how Dobermans tend to get a little lumpy as they get older,
Yeah.
but this note here about him getting lumpy, and he's had a lump removed before. Should we be concerned about this?
Well, it's always good to be aware. I mean, some breeds are just more prone to lumps and bumps than others. It's kind of like how some people get wrinkles easier than others. It's just genetics.
Right.
But the good news is the vet doesn't seem overly concerned at this point.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but like with anything, monitoring is key. If you
Yeah.
see any changes, any new lumps popping up, anything that looks different, get it checked out.
Are there certain types of lumps that are, more concerning than others, especially in a Doberman?
Yeah, there are. And with Dobermans, one thing to keep an eye on is mast cell tumors. They involve a type of immune cell and they can be tricky because they can be benign or they can be more aggressive. So it's always best to err on the side of caution and get any new lumps checked out.
Okay, noted. Better safe than sorry. All right.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so last thing here. Let's talk about Fido's diet. Looks like he's on rice, cottage cheese, and his regular food. Any thoughts on that?
Ah, the classic bland diet. Yeah, that's a good go-to when a dog's having some tummy troubles.
Hmm.
It's usually temporary. The rice and cottage cheese are easy on the stomach. They give the system a chance to settle down.
Right, just let things calm down a little bit.
Yeah, and then once things are back to normal, you can slowly transition back to the regular food.
I did see something here about probiotics.
Yeah.
Could those help with the tummy troubles as well?
Absolutely. Probiotics, they're like the good bacteria, the good guys in the gut.
Yeah.
They help keep everything balanced and they can be especially helpful after a bout of diarrhea because that can kind of wipe out some of the good bacteria, so the probiotics help to repopulate them.
Awesome. Okay, so basically to sum it all up, for Fido, the key takeaways are manage the arthritis pain. We talked about all those options.
Yeah.
Keep a close eye on any new lumps or bumps
Yeah.
or any changes in the old ones.
For sure. For sure.
And then, make sure we're supporting his digestive health, which sounds like he's on the right track with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing, at Fido's next checkup, don't hesitate to ask the vet specifically about those mast cell tumors we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Just get some more info on those, what to look for, what the signs are. It never hurts to be informed.
Knowledge is power. Right.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, that was great. Thanks for walking us through all that. Hope this has been helpful for everyone out there listening.
You got it.
And we hope Fido's feeling like his old self again soon.
Me too.
All right. We'll catch you next time on the deep dive.
See ya. Yeah.
And the internet search, I'll read it verbatim here. It says,